Are you curious what types of ships we'll get to captain in Crosswind? Hello, fellow MMO survival pirate gamers. Today I wanted to go over the types of ships we're going to see in Crosswind, which is an up-and-coming pirate survival MMO. I just did a video on it last week if you want to go check that out. What I'm going to do today is look at all of the footage that we have and some quotes that we have from the developers over on Discord, and we're going to start making a list of all of the different types of ships that we are going to see in Crosswind. Of course, everything that has been shown and that has been said is subject to change because the game is like pre-alpha/alpha state right now. Also, I am not an expert in naval combat, history, the era of when different ships were built. I'm not an expert in ship parts. I am just someone who really enjoys setting sail in survival and exploration games. So with all of that said, let's get into the different types of ships we might see in Crosswind. I want to start with the biggest ship I've seen mentioned so far, and that would be the first-rate ship of the line. Bambino from the Crosswind Crew posted that this model is inspired by another first-rate ship of the line, the HMS Royal William, but it's scaled taller to allow more interior space for gameplay. He says he can't get over the sheer size of this beast. During the 17th century to the mid-19th century, known as the Age of the Sail, there were ships such as these, which were called ships of the line. They were designed specifically for a naval tactic known as the line of battle, where there were two columns of warships maneuvering side by side in order to volley fire with their cannons and broadsides. Next up on our list we have the frigate, which I do have video footage of courtesy of the Crosswind Reddit. Here we see a character walking around the deck as well as then some sailing footage. The name of the game for a frigate is to showcase speed and maneuverability while scouting, escorting, and patrolling. This is a fully rigged ship, and I think it's pretty sizable. I think it's the second biggest ship that we've seen mentioned so far for Crosswind. The Ketch is our next ship to mention. A ketch is a two-masted sailboat whose main mast is taller than the mizzen mast. The only reason I even knew that the ship in this footage was a ketch is because it is labeled as one. I actually had never heard of one before, so this was kind of a cool find to see showcased. This next part is going to be a little bit of an honorable mention type of territory because I do not have tons of footage or images of these different ships. And if these ships are featured in the footage that we have available to us, I would not be able to recognize them because they seem to have very specific descriptions based around what kind of masts they have and the placements of those masts. So anyway, the first one I want to mention is the cutter. I have very brief footage of the cutter, so I'll put that here. And then next I want to mention the mention of a sloop. So I don't have a direct shot of a sloop, but I do have a mention of one from Bambino on Discord. He says, ship progression is still being refined, but expect deeper customization and upgrades. Each ship class, from sloops to galleons, will have its own strengths and trade-offs. So there is not only a mention of a sloop in that, but there is also the mention of a galleon, which I had not directly gone over yet. I know that different ships can be classed as similar things, so like a sloop and a cutter are very similar, but what differs between them is the sail placement and things like that. And as I said at the beginning of this video, I am not an expert on ships, naval warfare, history, or any of that, so I'm just going to bring up that they were mentioned and you all can take it from there. So again, that was sloops and galleons and cutters mentioned there. And then, of course, to continue our list of honorable mentions, we have the starter raft, it looks like, which I have a quick shot of. So we have the starter raft, and then I have another shot of what looks like a small dinghy type of craft. There's my quick captain's log on the ships we can expect in Crosswind as of the middle of April 2025. I'm sure this will change, could change, have new ships added or taken away if something doesn't work, but that's all I could find for now. Just like I did in the last Crosswinds video, I'm going to ask now if anyone has any questions for me that I can try and research and answer. I did comment on all of your questions back in the comment section of my last video if you hadn't checked that already. I will be keeping my eyes peeled for more Crosswind information as it drops so that I can keep you all up to date on how the game is doing as it progresses through its alpha and playtesting. That is going to be it for me today, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed this look at what we can expect when we get into Crosswind, finally. I don't know about you, but I am so ready to set sail. That is it for me today, guys. If you hadn't seen my last Crosswind video, please do feel free to check it out as I go over a lot of the differences that popped up for me between Atlas and Crosswind. I know a lot of you enjoyed Atlas, so maybe you will enjoy that video as well. And as per usual, I hope you all are enjoying your games, and I will see you all in the next video.